Welcome back. As we continue off with the conversations, the 2024 Botswana general elections will be held today to determine the composition of the 13th Parliament of Botswana, as well as local councils across the country. Up for elections are 61 seats of the National Assembly, as well as 609 local council seats, all elected through the first past the post voting system. Since the first election under universal suffrage Since the first elections went under universal suffrage in 1965, the Botswana Democratic Party has held a majority of seats without interruption in the National Assembly and has thus governed alone 58 years. That is, making Botswana a country characterized by a dominant party system. Joining us now just to give us an update and his analysis on the general elections, we're joined by Public Policy Analyst, that is Dr. Marius Kudumo. Dr. Kudumo, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to your viewers.
Thank you so much for making time to talk to us.
Thank you.
Right. Looking at what is happening in Botswana, how would you assess the current political stance in the country? And also, what would you say is the possible outcome or impact when it comes to today's elections?
Yeah, Botswana has been described as a stable democracy with strong institutions. But democracy in any country is evolving. And therefore, in the case of Botswana, there are issues that dominated the campaigns for this election. And these issues are related to the performance of the economy, especially the decline in the global market for diamond sales. Unemployment, especially among the youth, is an issue, as well as inequality. Obviously, despite the fact that Botswana is a stable democracy, there are social and economic issues that are emerging, especially after COVID-19. And these have dominated these elections, and therefore people are expecting whomever is elected to address those issues.
Doctor, what would you say are some of the few changes that you've witnessed in the electoral scenery of Botswana since the last elections? And what would you say are some of the factors that contribute to some of these changes?
Yeah, for example, people will notice that there have been a fallout between the former President Ian Kama Serese Kama, and the incumbent President Masisi. And that fallout have created some polarization in the society and actually trying to disrupt the political system. So that fallout has implications on the nation in terms of polarization, as I have explained. But obviously, every country is still feeling the impact of COVID-19, whether it is on the economy or whether it's on livelihoods. Basically, these are the key issues. And when you read the manifesto of the different political parties, the democratic space in terms of freedoms are being highlighted, as well as the issue of the economy, as I have explained. Afrobarometer Survey 2024 of Botswana is highlighting three key issues of concerns to the citizens. Firstly is the unemployment, as I have explained. Secondly is the health system in the country. And thirdly are issues related to crime and security. So basically, these are the developments, and any country experiences developments at different stages. So it's not unique. It's just to explain that there have been issues in the political realm, there have been issues in the economy, and there have been issues in the social structure of society.
Well, perhaps with that said, what would you say are some of the challenges with the candidates that they will face when running for these upcoming elections when it comes to funding as well as resources?
Yeah, especially you have different political parties. If I am correct, there are 6 political parties contesting these elections. You have the Botswana Democratic Party that has been governing since independence, as you have said, since 1966, 58 years as the governing party. A party like that, and with the politics of the incumbency, will have strong infrastructure. They will also have maybe strong financial resources compared to parties that are emerging, that are coming up. So I think the issues of the infrastructure to run a national campaign and the resources that is required are some of the factors that will influence or have influenced the campaigns. Remember that elections are about choices. You have people who have decided, you have also undecided voters. And as a political party, you want to reach to everyone and convince them that you are the best in terms of the strategies and the plans that you have for the country, as well as the capabilities in terms of expertise, knowledge, and experiences to address those issues. So parties will be different in terms of the infrastructure to manage a national electoral campaign.
Dr. Kudumo, in your opinion, what would you say are some of the strengths and weaknesses of the electoral system in Botswana?
Yeah, any electoral system might have strengths and weaknesses. Like you said in your introduction, the Botswana electoral system is the first past the post system. In other words, although there are political parties, candidates are standing in the constituencies. Therefore, there is accountability to the people where you are standing. And if the system works well, then the parliamentarians account to their constituency gives input in policy making. And therefore, you are likely to have evidence-based policy making. But the first past the post system means it's only one individual who is winning compared to the proportional representation, where it is a proportion of the votes that you have attained. So you are likely to have a one dominant governing party instead of having many views in that parliament. It's not a weakness as such, but that is the option of an electoral system that the country have opted for, and maybe there are reasons for that. But I think it's more the question of direct accountability and indirect accountability.
Dr. Kudumo, what are you anticipating for the 2024 Botswana general elections?
Yeah, I'm expecting the governing party to win this election, perhaps with some reduced numbers in the parliament. And the reason for that is in Africa, you don't underestimate the power of the incumbents. The governing party have the means and the resources, sometimes using the resources of the state to launch a major campaign compared to other parties that might not have the resources. Like in Namibia and in other countries in Africa, you have political opposition parties. There is somehow many opposition parties, and as a result of that, they split their votes. And in a first-past-the-post system, that can be detrimental or disadvantage to the opposition parties when they are not united, and when they are filling up too many candidates, you actually give the opportunity to the governing party to win those elections. But obviously, maybe we'll see a diverse parliament. Although the opposition parties might not win, they might win some constituencies. And diversity in representation and in policy making is actually a good thing. But I anticipate that the governing party might still win this election.
Well, Dr. Kudumo, thank you so much for making time to talk to us this morning.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Marius Kudumo, who is a public policy analyst, joining us this morning, giving us his analysis on the 2024 Botswana general elections that are basically taking place today. Well, all the best to Botswana, and we definitely do wish them free and fair elections. Good morning, and we'll continue shortly after this.